What's up, everybody, and welcome back to BPx After Dark, where we focus on the events, silos, and goings-on of the world of block packs. Each week, we'll spotlight the past, present, and future of block packs through community-driven conversation, interviews, and of course, that juicy alpha you know and love. If you're a fan of TCGs, digital collectibles, fantasy sports, or even pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, you've found your new must-listen programming. BlockPax is more than just a company. It's an incredible group of fans of cutting-edge tech, high-octane collecting, and supportive community. Broadcast live each Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific on X Spaces, we are brought to you by Radish Digital. That's digital with a J. I'm your host, GT, and I'm here every week to be your guide through BlockPax. Tune in and come join the conversation. And without further delay, let's get on to this week's show.
Hey everybody, this is Discord user Slappy White with Radish Digital. That's digital with a J. And I'm not here with, according to him, but I am going to introduce our old-time host who came back for a special show, BJamps. Jamps, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, but of course it wouldn't be a reunion without me having some technical difficulties. So for whatever reason, as soon as you started playing the intro, it turned off my Bluetooth, and now it's not letting me put on speakerphone. So the only way I can hear is like kind of putting it up to my ear. So I'm trying to fix this.
Well, I want to say it sounds a lot better now than it did before when you were talking in the pre-show. And we have Major Rob on stage. Going to bring him up on here. Major Rob, welcome.
Hey!
Hey Rob, how are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
I'm here to get educated.
Yeah, well, so Rob, I think you unfortunately, I've got some bad news. Is that I just posted in Discord. Did you see the unfortunate news?
I'm not getting educated.
You're not getting educated. No, unfortunately, is that Hen ended up. He sounds like he's got a case of influenza, and he tried to make it. God bless him. He was going to try to make it through, and he just he's like, I can't do it. So without, according to Hen, is that Jamps, do you want to tackle this subject all on your own, all the technical intricacies of the liquidity pools?
Yeah, because that would be very valuable for everyone listening.
All right. Well, and so Jamps, if as soon as, according to Hen, gets busy, I'd prefer not to wait till next Thursday. Again, we try to do, for folks who don't know, BPx After Dark, GT moved into a new position. Of course, he took over for Jamps after Jamps, Lou Gehrig run as host of BPx After Dark. And GT, though, right now, he's transitioning to new work. So I'm still trying to keep BPx After Dark on Thursdays. But after doing it for a couple of years, one night every week, and just signing that night away, I'm trying to keep it so for special occasions like this, where we can talk about liquidity pools and other special interests. So Jamps, we still going to do a show tonight, abbreviated one, not like the old days. Keep it under 30 minutes, like our new policy. But Jamps, will you come back? Do you think you can get permission? Because I know you had to get special permission from the family to do tonight. Do you think it's possible you could do one more within the next week?
Yeah. It's easier if we actually start it. The later we start it, the better better chances I have.
All right, good. And by the way, I do see we have a few people out there in the audience, and Yo-Yo among them speaking out. All right, we'll work with you on that. Major Rob, hold on. So the one thing, I know that'll suck up all 29 minutes, and there were a couple things that I wanted to talk to. I think I saw, just off the top of my mind, I think I saw your Santa Claus Minor book listed for BPx. There's just stuff I'd love to talk to you about, Jamps, and questions to ask as one of the whales. But can we do this, Jamps? Can we talk about Mr. Dillon and liquidity pool and going? Can we just, because I know there's been a lot of discussion about that lately. Can we just maybe do 10 minutes and we'll say right now as 10 minutes, we won't talk about time because some people will watch it. But is that okay if we spend a few minutes just talking about it?
Lead the way, sir.
Lead the way. You're the host. So James,
I don't know what you want.
Well, I want you to talk about Mr. Dillon, and sorry, just pulling up my phone in case anybody is making any comments in Discord. So I'm interested to hear how Major Rob, who's been one of the most vocal people talking about the liquidity pool and trading with Mr. Dillon and such. And, I take first of all, let me say, I hold a lot of BPX. So I hear what people are saying. I don't want it to be down. I want it back to where it was when it first launched, and it was several cents. That would make me extremely happy. That is absolutely my goal. But I also look at it this way. In the old days, Jams, whales like you, people would look at you and they'd be like, during the Raz games, they'd be like, geez, why doesn't Jams and Jen and Alpha, why don't they trade with me? You know, once they get what they want, they don't trade at all. And so I'm like, if you take away Mr. Dillon and what he's done to the BPX price, he's essentially a whale. He's essentially a whale who trades with everyone. And he's essentially a whale who gives everybody a 60% discount on whatever they want. And I think back to the old days, but think about this, Jams. If it was you and you were trading with everybody and giving everybody a deal, I mean, isn't that kind of what people used to say they wanted? I mean, forget about the impact on BPX for a second, but isn't that kind of a dream that people had in the community?
Yeah, I mean, if you take if you take away what he's doing to BPX, I mean, everything else, he'd basically be Robin Hood in the in the community, because I mean, you know, no one's ever paid full price to the guy. So you know, anything anyone's ever bought from him is at either a little discount or at a massive discount. But
Yeah. Well, and Rob, I want to bring you up and you know, you mentioned about we've talked in the past about don't trade with certain people because you know they're just going to go to liquidity pool. But like for me, example, I had a collection offer up and he just hit it. So to your point about not trading with him, right? That's the hard part. If you put out a collection offer, you're not going to Dylan and seeing he owns an asset and saying, hey, I'll offer you that. But it just, if he hits the collection offer, we don't really have a choice, do we? Not to put up collection offers?
No. I think where we're getting our signals crossed at is there's certain individuals in the community, and names don't matter, that actually, oh, how do I say this without he goes and rips all that stuff and he makes millions and millions and millions and millions of points. And then people go in and pay him a fraction to take it all, but he's not making squat on the deal, and they're funding him to go do other things. I don't know how to say it well.
I think just say it how it is, Rob, is that so that way you don't have to get. But so I think the concern for the BPX, right, the price is that it really comes down to supply and demand, is that there needs to be, and I'm not sure. I mean, nobody knows for sure how much Mr. Dillon spends. If he's spending $50,000 a month, then we need to spend more than $50,000 a month to counteract him, right?
And
yeah,
I
but
would say he's spending at least that much.
What were you saying, James?
if it's gonna, let's call 50 grand, which I have no idea if that's high, low.
Right.
It, that's a uni, you know, so it's not, you know, most of the BPX that our ecosystem buys is peer-to-peer outside of Uniswap. It's you know, it's in Discord saying, hey, I'll pay you PayPal, or I'll pay you ETH or whatever. But you know, it's a very, very small amount of BPX that, you know, our community is actually ever going to purchasing, you know, off of Uni. So you know, once the syncs come, I mean, hopefully that'll, you know, be a catalyst to getting more people to actually, you know, hit the Uniswap.
Well, and that's the issue, is that, you know, I was thinking about that. If BPX does the things they're talking about, they would have to do, you know, how many thousands of dollars are they going to have to hit it for to make it happen? I mean, I think BlockPax is, we've always said we wanted them to grow. We wanted outside people coming in. We need a bigger pool. And for years we talked about that, and it's actually happening. I mean, people are coming in, and they haven't even made a push yet. So we're going in the right direction of being able to counteract a Mr. Dillon. But the question is, if they brought in the sinks now, would that be enough to get around it? But I think the harder part is, which I'm really excited about, and I'll just share this because, again, Rob, is that I really hope you join us when we reschedule it, because I think we want to go through the liquidity pool, talk about it, and then talk about how that can affect. Because one of the, well, and so here's what happened is, according to Hen and Big Rob for the win, they had, and actually I think it was Big Rob for the win who originally started it. He was talking, he looks at the price of BPX in different ways, that we can positively influence it. Rob has a lot of great ideas, a lot of ideas. And we're talking about the liquidity pool, because in theory, what would happen is, so I'm trying to BJamps and I want to give it. So the one area where I got really confused is that I was thinking of a liquidity pool position, kind of like buying and selling a stock. And it's not like that at all. It's exactly what it is. It's liquidity. And so, for instance, what I was trying to do is, if anybody who's trying to go there and do it, if the price is 0.002 and you go in and you say you were like, well, I'll buy $10,000 at this price. You know, if you go in to try to buy it at that price, BPx, what are you going to be able to buy it for?
Yeah, not a lot more than that.
Yeah. So if you say I'm going to buy 10,000 instead of 0.002, it's going to say you're going to buy it at 0.003 as your average cost price. And the reason why is people have taken positions in the liquidity pool. And so, for instance, when I did it, I created a position between 0.0025 and 0.0028. And so whenever anybody was selling down into that area, they would hit my liquidity pool. And so what would happen is I had $2,000 in USDC. And when Mr. Dillon sold and it got down to that area, it would start hitting me. But so the other thing is there are people who had pools up above. So he's selling all the way down. And once, say, Major Rob he established a pool between 0.0028 and 0.003. Mr. Dillon would go through and eat up Rob's $500. Then he'd come down and hit my 1,000 between this area. Then he'd go down and hit the person below me, and he'd just empty out our liquidity pools. And what happens is my 2,000 USDC gets converted over to BPx because I buy Mr. Dillon's BPx for my 2,000 USDC. So what's interesting about this is that people, I think Sonny was one, Dr. Brea was one, Big Dobbs was one. But what happens is because I'm the liquidity pool, people then who see how cheap the price is, they go in and they buy BPx, but it's coming out of me, right? When you think you're buying it from Uniswap, you're not buying it from Uniswap. You're buying it from somebody who has a liquidity pool position. That's the thing that's hard to understand. So essentially, we are the bank. So think of me as like when you're in the airport and you're going through and you see like I can exchange the euro for the US dollar. That's what the liquidity pool is that sometimes you're going to have $1,000 of euros, and sometimes you're going to have $1,000 worth of US dollars. Sometimes you'll have 600 of one and 400 of the other, and it just keeps going back and forth like this. Now, every time somebody does a transaction, you get a fee, and it's minuscule. I mean, one day when this currency is hot, it'll be great, and you can make a lot of money this way. But I think I made, and we'll go over this on the show when we do it, but I think I held 3 different liquidity pool positions, and I think the most I made was like 2,000 BPx and $7 for people using my BPx in US dollars. So it wasn't enough to override the gas. But what I was trying to do, and this is really getting complicated, but I was trying to time it. So when people, like BJamps just said, if he went and bought $10,000 of BPx at 0.002, he couldn't buy it at that. As soon as you put in the buy order, it's going to be 0.003 that he's buying it for. But if you do a liquidity pool position, what I can do is that when Mr. Dillon cashes it in and all of a sudden all my US dollar becomes BPx at my 0.002 price, I can close my position and then I'm out. And then I can convert that all into just BPx at that price. So it's a trick. If you believe in BPx, liquidity pool position is a way for you to target a price you want to pay and not actually influence the price. The price won't jump up. You won't have to pay a high rate by investing 1,000. That's the tease. And the other thing I want to say, you don't have to be a big whale. If you're someone who just has a couple $100, I was talking to Hen. I did 3 positions, BPx, and I think I paid a couple times. I paid $3 in gas. So this is a super easy thing. And the last thing, it's 9:15. I'm going to pull up the screen just to show you, BPx, what it looks like and how freaking easy it is. And but I think for that, I just want to, BPx, you, I think, mentioned you took a liquidity pool position. It was a while ago, and you're even kind of fuzzy on it because I think it was a little more complicated when you did it, maybe a year ago when we first launched?
Yeah, it was right after we first launched. I had someone to help me set it up, and I couldn't begin to to tell you what my positions were.
And how much of it did you actually do, BPx? Was the person on the phone telling you like, do this, do that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
but
I mean,
I don't remember like any of it.
And how
all
is
right.
this not like buying calls and puts? Because it sounds exactly like you're buying a put.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't want to get too technical. Geez, we're in liquidity pools, and then if we start talking about if we
See,
start talking
I
talk,
understand stocks and bonds. I don't understand liquidity pool.
yeah. Well, so I can show you. I'm going to show you real quick right here. And again, this isn't financial advice; it's for educational purposes. But for instance, and what's really interesting is this lives on as an NFT in your wallet, in your blockchain wallet, which I didn't know. And so the one question I had for Hen is, if I took a position, could I go ahead and actually send it to you, Major Rob, and then you would get you would essentially get my position just if I sent the NFT. Hold on, and I'm gonna log in so you guys can. I'm gonna show you how easy this is. Oh, all right, there we go. All right, so this is a position that I took. And so Jamps, did this look like anything you had? Because I mean they changed things so much, Uniswap. Is this
Yes,
okay?
it looked very similar to that.
Okay.
I think the icon may have changed a little bit, but I mean it was very similar.
Well, and so one of the things, if you go down here and to make it really easy, USDC. So this is one of the positions I took, and I said the min price was 0.002 and the max price was 0.00282. And so what happened? And right now it says the current price is 0.00234. If I still had my position here, every time somebody sold, I would be buying BPX at this price. It would be hitting my liquidity pool. But if we go, let's see, if I want to go, let's see. This is going to be bad. Let's see. So you can see right here, Major Rob, this is as easy as it gets. You can see on the left, it says new position, select token, pair and fees, set price range, enter deposit amounts. Now, I don't know, Jams, was it this easy for you? These 3 easy steps on the left?
Yeah, it looks familiar.
Okay. So the select pair, like I chose ETH and then I put BPX. And
That's
then
the
you're
thing.
going to,
Like I wasn't asking questions of how it. They were like, okay, type this in here, type this in there, and I was just doing that and click. I
yeah.
wasn't really trying to learn. I was just trying to get it set up.
Well, and by the way, this is a good time to mention, no, Yo-Yo, you didn't win anything. We're just doing an educational portion right now. Again, for those tuning in late, according to Hen, has influenza. He could not make it tonight. Jams, I always like saying influenza instead of the flu. I feel like it's more serious, right? If we say it's influenza instead of just he has the flu. But we're going to reschedule this, and hopefully Jams will come back and ask all the questions so that Jams and I can understand what Hen says completely. But I'm just giving you the rough overview. For those of you who are thinking about the BPX liquidity pool, this is not meant just for whales like Jams. It's meant for people like Major Rob, myself, and you. It only, as long as you do this when gas is cheap, you can take your couple $100s of USDC, your couple $100s of ETH, and you can go ahead and add it to the liquidity pool. So looking on the left on the screen, you see new position, and it just select token pair and fees, set price range, and enter deposit amounts. So I have it for ETH to BPX. So let's go ahead and hit continue. And I'm going to, let's see. Let's see. Set the starting. Oh, wait. Hold on. I've already messed up when I did that. Oh, let's see. He's gonna. Let's see. Hopefully.
It switched again on the other side.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully that I'm going to. Let's see. So this. Great. Ether BPX. Current price equals that. Hold on. Let's see what happens. All right. I'm not gonna do this. I said it was going to be easy, and it wasn't as easy as I thought. I got caught right on live TV doing it. Dang it.
Retreat.
I know. Okay. I'm going to have to go back to my
Bail.
cheat. All right.
You were feeling too confident there, huh?
I was. Well, I was trying to do it on. Well, again, I wasn't, and I apologize, guys. I wasn't ready. I was waiting for, of course, our star tonight, according to Hen, to be here. All right, I'm going to look up one last thing, but Jams, while I do that, it's a little bit of side note, and I said we're going to get off, but I do want to show folks just a couple things. Did I not see your Santa Claus Lost Miner book for sale in the marketplace.
You did, but I have two. The one that was my PFP is never, that is never for sale. The Santa, I don't own that Santa anymore. I ended up trading it with Frenchie for a different Santa one that he put I mean, I liked the one I had more also, but he put a higher value on it, and so I ended up taking his one-of-one Santa and some money on top and then swapping them. So like I don't have the connection of owning that one anymore. So but like I have a high price tag on it. I'm not
Yeah.
I don't
Do you want to share what it is?
it's like 3 million BPx possibly.
3 million. All right. Is that negotiable at all?
I mean, sure, maybe a tiny bit, but not much. I don't, that's not something that I, am desperate to sell by any stretch of the imagination.
I actually would love to go back to the tape, because I know we had Tito, didn't we have you on tape saying whether you would be willing to sell the Santa? I think we had you on the price, didn't we?
Probably. I didn't sell the Santa though. I traded him for another Santa 101 and some money that I was using for something else.
Oh, I know. But I was thinking that I think you were saying, because I was asking, was it you or Tito? Remember, I asked how much money in the world would you sell for? And I think because of course Tito had he had the very last minor. All right, we're gonna have to go ahead and look at that. Well, it's I can't wait the derision that comes through. And again, guys, I apologize. Trying to do it on live TV is that going in with the
Don't worry, it happened to Bill Gates, if you remember, on Windows 98. So
did it really?
Whatever it was.
I don't remember.
The whole system crashed on live TV.
All right.
As they were unveiling it.
Well, I'm going to let's see. Your position's new pool. All right, I'm going to give it one last chance, as long as we have it, and then we're going to get Jams home. All right. So let's see. Create position. Let's try it again.
You're not on TV.
Yeah. All right. Let me get back to that restream. All right. This is not. Let's see. All right. So I'm in the pool. I'm going there, and I want to go. Let's see. Oh wait, no. I think I know. Oh no. Hold on. All right. So Jams, you gotta. All right, here we go. Yeah, I just did it backwards. Okay. So it's BPx to USDC. I did it the wrong way. USDC to BPx. So if you go back to step 1, see that I had it slept backwards. So you want to do BPx on the first one and USDC as the second one. Do you see that, Rob?
Yeah.
And so that's the step 1. So again, I'm sitting here at my URL is app.uniswap.org and /position/create. I'll go ahead and actually, you want to know what? I'm going to go ahead and put that in the ticker so people can see that. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to put that right there. So that's where I go to create this. I have my wallet connected up in the half. So I promise, guys, it's not that hard. I got to be honest, like going back to the blockchain Jamps, doing things on the fly, not wanting to make mistakes, not even sure which wallet I connected to. And like, God knows that I know it's not loaded with my BlockPax assets. All right. So select the pair, BPx to USDC. And then what Hen is going to get into, the 0.3% fee tier, he'll talk a little bit about that and what can and can't be adjusted. Then you just hit continue. Now you're at step 2, which is set the price range. You're setting the pool. So what you want to do is we're going to do the full range is Hen will talk to us about that, Jamps. I assume you're just kind of in there and where the market rate's hitting, you're just going to be collecting BPx, but no really control over that. That's not what I want. So again, I was doing this because I wanted to buy my $2,000 worth of BPx at this price. And by the way, one thing, this isn't financial advice. This is just educational purpose, just education. For me, Jamps, I looked at it this way. When ETH hit around 2100, I converted an ETH. I bought an ETH. And then, of course, as soon as I did, I saw some lost miners that I really had to have. And then freaking that ETH was gone and I was down to like 0.6. But I held the line at 0.6 and I couldn't go below it. And recently when ETH was at 3,300, I looked at BPx Jamps and I said to myself, I think BPx will be at a penny before ETH will be at 10,500. Now, at that time, I was thinking BPx was at 0.0033 and ETH was at 3,500. So in my mind, right, it was which is likelier to grow threefold? Is BPx more likely to get to BPx get to a penny before ETH gets to 10,500? To me, that's no brainer. Like I think that's going to happen. And again, this is just us guessing. This is not financial advice, but Jamps, would you kind of agree?
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, yeah, zero questions in my mind.
Well, and so that's the way I look. So I was like, you know what? I believe in this. I believe in the BlockPax ecosystem, and I keep trying to, some people have done really well. Like Rody is great about selling. He sells and he moves on and he keeps reinvesting, but he always pulls stuff out, and it's just very hard. What I try to do is reinvest in. So here's what we're going to do is you see it says full range and custom range. You're going to click on custom range. And then you can see down here on the end, it's 0, 0. And by the way, one of the things we're going to do with Hen is you're going to be able to look and see where people have different positions. It's kind of like level 2 trading. You can see where people's positions are. But so we're going to bring this up. And because remember, right now it is at 0.022. So here's what happens. If I go ahead and say, I want my range to be 0.002, let's see. If I say 0.002 to 0.003, okay, I want to get BPx and I'm going to full it. So like, let's go ahead and hit continue. So my range is 0.002 to 0.003. Now notice I have the yellow line to the left of where the current price is. I have the blue line to the right of where the current price is. So, all right, I only have $26 in this account. So notice if I want to turn that $26 into BPx, it says, no, you have to deposit $26 in USDC and 21,000 in BPx. Because I'm on the upper side, because I'm over the price, I have to provide BPx liquidity as well as US dollar liquidity. And so we can get into the whys later, but going back here to the range, now watch what happens if I bring this down to where it's at right now, and I cross back over the line. Now watch this. I'm going to go ahead and continue. And look at now, deposit tokens. It's only US dollar. This is the key thing. And I remember I didn't have Hen. If you want to go ahead and look at the Radish YouTube channel, you'll see we did 3 things. Number 1 was Hen and Rob and I went out and we talked about liquidity pools, and Hen talked about what he was doing. And then the step 2 was Hen closed his position and we recorded him doing it. And then step 3 was we had me open a position. And so we kind of covered all those things. And actually, I'm going to tell you, Rob and Jamps, you know what I just did while you were telling the Christmas story, Jamps?
What's that?
I went and I looked at the video where we did it, and I found it.
50 grand.
I found it in 2 seconds how I had to do it.
Was it 50 grand?
Was what 50 grand?
The video from I thought you were talking about you found the Santa.
Oh no. Oh my gosh, I'm not that good. No,
I did too. I thought that's exactly what you meant.
No, I went.
Oh, good. I'm not crazy.
I went and looked at the video of Hen and I setting up my liquidity pool position. And I found, like, within 2 seconds while you were telling the story, I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's how I did it. So the one thing to remember, if you go and you look at in the YouTube channel for Radish Digital, you will find like opening a LP position, and it's that simple. So again, you got to be on this side of the actual what the current price is. Both the yellow and the blue in the custom range have to be below. So I'm going to show you really quick. We had a little bit of problem at the beginning, but I've now put it in the video. With the different things you have to do is that you have to, the first one is that, I changed it. All right. You're going to go to app.uniswap.org/position/create. Make sure your wallet's connected. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to create a new position, and then you're going to have BPX on the left, and then USDC or ETH, whatever you're doing. Then you're going to hit continue. Then you're going to do a custom range. So full range, custom range. You do the custom range, and then you're going to bring it down to this side, and then that's where you're going to be. And then you're going to go ahead, continue, and then you say, I have $26 in my account. So it's that simple, Rob. Select the token, BPX to USDC or ETH or whatever. Hit continue. Don't choose full range, choose custom range, and then customize it to where you want to be. And let's see. Oh, that guy's given. Sometimes it's a little bit of a. Let's see. Let's see. Can I do this? Yeah, let me do point. All right, there. I could do it manually. I was having a hard time getting that guy over. So you can do that also. See, I clicked right in where it says max price. I did that to bring it down. So again, select the token, continue, do the custom range where you want it to be, continue, and then you go ahead and how much USDC or ETH or whatever you're doing, hit review, and then it's going to bring it up, and then you're going to hit create. It says it's $1.47 is what it would cost me in gas to do this. That's all it takes. So Rob, did you have any questions about that? We're going to get into real detail. We're going to go on. And by the way, I am not an expert, like according to Hen, and he's going to tell you he's not an expert, but he knows a lot more than I do. And he's also going to be prepared. But did you have any questions, Rob?
No, that was crazy simple.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what scares me.
Yeah, I mean, Jams, I don't know on your phone because you can't be on, but were you able to watch it, Jams?
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's very, very, very small on my phone. Yeah. So,
all right, but it's, I mean, from the sound of it, like, so this is, yeah, Major Rob, that's it. That's all anyone has to do. And again, gas is negligible. You just got to time it right. Don't do it, you know, in the middle of the workday when Europe and America's up. Gas is not much, and anybody can take a position. And then one of the things that you have to do, and I was showing you before, where I showed the different positions I had, Rob. So the only thing you have to do is, I would sit there, and of course, Mr. Dillon sells this stuff because he's West Coast. He'll sell it at 3 or 4 in the morning. And so what would happen is he would dump everything, and all my USDC would turn into BPX, and I couldn't close my position fast enough. I'd wake up at, 6 or 7 in the morning East Coast time, and somebody would have gone in and scooped up my BPX, and then they dump it back over to USDC. So that's why I eventually, I looked at how much total, I looked at how bad, I timed the gas just right so that I would close my position out. So like I closed the position out once for 300, one for, and actually I'll show you guys real quick.
And this is where I do have a question.
Yeah.
Is there, I know when I buy and sell stock in the market, I can set a limit order or a,
yep.
Is there anything like that in this where I can say, once I get to, my account falls below 100 USDC,
yep.
I want to.
The closest thing you have to that, to your limit, is that the custom range we just talked about, that's your that's what you can manipulate. But once it converts over, no, then you're buying and selling. You're supposed to be technically creating liquidity. So liquidity does not mean just giving USDC for BPX. It's liquidity. So as soon as, if you have $500 in USDC and Mr. Dillon sells all his BPX to you, so now all of a sudden you're sitting on, 150,000 BPX, you can't, there's no trigger market order that you can do. You have to look at it, go in, and then close it. So that's on you. It's you have a ledger. You start with 500 USDC. It might be 150,000 BPX and no USDC. It might be $250 USDC and 75,000 BPX, and it keeps floating like this. And then you have to watch it to close it. So for what I did is, you can see on my screen, is that I opened a position with $2,000, and then I paid 15. The gas, when we did it the first time, gas was a lot. So gas was $20.76. I ended up making $5 in fees off people buying and selling my stuff. So my total gas was $15.75. But what I did is it went back and forth constantly. And at the end of the day, I closed it for $15.46. So I only closed it for $450, but it was 156,000 BPx. I'm giving you the rough numbers right here. And then on the second one, I opened with $1,714. I closed for $1,400. So only did $300 here. And then my gas here, less the commissions, was $11. And I came out with 118,000. And then on the third one, I actually, believe it or not, didn't think that it would get back down to where my position was, which was like 0.0028. So I actually closed this one out and I paid $11 in gas, but I never actually took a position. So the total is I ended up going in and I ended up getting, oh, and I should say this, what I ended up doing when the price got so low, because originally I wanted to buy in the 0.003 area. So when I saw it down around 0.0022, I did actually just take the rest of my 1,400, because Rob, to your point, you want to put it in an order and walk away. You can't when you're in the liquidity pool. In the future, you're going to put your money in there and people are going to be buying, selling it so much that you're just going to want to put your money in there and you get fees out of it. And so that's going to be in the future. Right now, you're not making money off the fees. It's $5. It's not enough to cover gas. So what I did is I said, I can't watch this 24 hours a day. So I just took my last 1,400 and I'm like, done, I'll just buy it. And my average price on that, the straight buy, I ended up buying 571,000 for $1,399. So I can't remember where that came in, but that was like 0.0024. And I raised the price from 0.0021 to 0.0024 with that buy. And I was okay with it because I'm fine paying 0.0024. But so anyway, this is, if you look at everything right here, these are my buys. I mean, USDC, it was $474 for 156,000. That's a liquidity pool position. $330 for 118,000. That's a liquidity pool position. My third position, I just paid $11 in gas and I got nothing out of it. And then my final position, which was not liquidity pool, but a straight buy, I spent $1,400 and I got 571,000 BPx. So I ended up moving 846,000 BPx over to my wallet so I can get the 30% markup on the pick six. All right. And that's kind of the extent to what I really, and I shouldn't have gone into it, but since people showed up tonight, I did want to talk a little bit. Hopefully it gets people interested. Hopefully people say they want to come back, Jamps, when the expert is here. All right. So Rob, any last questions about liquidity pool before I've already, Jamps, only you. I love the show. Well, we'll get in around the block real quick, but only with you. It's like we won't go 4 hours. But
You can't blame me. You can't blame me on this.
I know it's my fault. Rob, did you have any questions about liquidity?
No, sir.
Pools?
No.
All right, James. Anything you want to add about liquidity pools?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so a couple things just to get into other things. And again, I hope everybody who's tuning in late, we wish according to Hen well. Hopefully he gets better. He has influenza. Sorry that he couldn't be here. This is just educational purposes, not financial advice. We're not saying anybody should go in and put their money in the liquidity pool. They should buy BPx. That's everything you want to do. It's a reward mile in the BlockPax ecosystem, so treat it as you will. All right, but we have BJamps here, longtime host of BPx After Dark. Of course, him and Jen started hosting Miners After Dark, which is crazy. Isn't that crazy, Jamps, that we started focusing on the lost miners, which I still love, but that was the only focus of the show.
Yeah. It's definitely been a long, twisted road.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of which, we're now up to around the block. And so one of the great comments I saw, so I think it was MJ number 23, the GOAT, said, where he said great time management or something to that point. And oh my gosh, James, I got to tell you, this last week of Around the Block it was very hard to get us down to 30 minutes. And it was easy to cut a little bit at the beginning, but the last 20 seconds, I was cutting people's breath here, a pause there, just to get us under 30 minutes, because one of the guarantees we're giving folks, and I love the editing room, right? Here live, things go askew. I had to recover after not being able to hit the liquidity pool the way I wanted. I had to recover and show that. But James, be honest, have you been able to catch any of the episodes of Around the Block?
No, not yet.
Okay. Well, hopefully you get to take a chance to look at it. The best part is it'd be great to have a jam segment on what the whales are doing. And speaking of Around the Block segments, is that Rob joined us. Is that Rob, you didn't catch the earlier part about the liquidity pool, right?
I caught the tail end of it.
All right. The tail end, as long as the tail end. All right. But so Hen couldn't make it tonight, Rob. So we're kind of cutting it short. We just gave a tease. So when According to Hen comes back up, but you had messaged me right before we went on, Rob, saying that we need to talk about something. Do you want to share something? We'll see if Jamps has even noticed it in the marketplace.
So if you look in the reward room, they added an activity status, like in the activity for like a physical card in the reward room when somebody redeems it. So when you're looking at something, you're like, man, I want to make an offer on that. Now you're going to be able to tell if somebody's already redeemed it or not.
Ah, very cool. I had not noticed that.
I just noticed it tonight, and they dropped it with zero fanfare.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it's been out. I mean, I assume not long, but
I assume it came out like this week, probably when they posted all those auctions.
yeah, that would make sense. That's really cool.
Yeah. And so is this why? So did you notice it because you went in and looked at the redeem tab, Rob? Is that why?
No, I went in to look at the activity to see if somebody bought something that I wish I would have caught earlier. And I noticed that one of the statuses for the in the activity tab for the reward room
Yep.
was redemption. That's how I figured it out.
So right here on the screen where we're seeing redeemed, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah, so like if you click into one of the actual cards, you can see the status in the activity tab at the bottom where it would normally say like show you like a sale or a transfer or an offer or whatever.
Yep.
Instead of saying sold, it'll say redeemed.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
Rob,
like that.
do you see that on the screen, Rob?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing it myself too. So,
All right. Well, we got Jamps on the stage right now, Rob. Is there anything you want to ask him while we have the whale here?
which Rob?
Actually,
Actually,
I don't
both
have
Robs.
anything.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, this is like the other day, Jamps. Were you in the audience when we had 3 Chris's on stage?
Yeah, that's awful.
We had Knoxville Chris, Chris Hawkwind, and Cardio Chris. We had all 3 on the stage.
That was great.
Wow.
And all 3 of them answered at exactly the same time. All right, well, the Robs. All right.
That's
So real
awesome.
quick spin around, James, for you is that what's interesting about Zarek, I was kind of surprised looking in at, and I mentioned this in the Radish Discord, is that when you were looking at geek movements, you had, I think it was you, James, I pointed it out, was Zarek and somebody else. You recently picked up a geek, right?
I did, but that's only because I ended up. I traded away 3 heroes to get some boba things that I really wanted. So then I had to. So then I put out. I took the ETH I had and put it into Weth and threw an offer out there for 400. And someone hit it for only for a hero. I didn't put it for all stars. I wanted to get a hero back. So now at least I'm only down 2. So I'll get the other 2 back.
Okay, interesting.
It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the price of geeks once they get moved on the marketplace. I can only imagine that's going to do good things for it, but like, who really knows?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing a little bit of Game of Chicken. I hope I can get the 2 heroes back before the price of geese goes up too much.
Yeah. The only thing that I worry about with moving into marketplace and being BPX only is that if you look at what's happened with the HTH cards in the marketplace, their BPX price has stayed consistent no matter what the price of BPX was. So when BPX was at like, 0.006, a common was still selling for the same as it is now when it's at what, 0.002 or less. So if the geek price gets established in BPX and people, trade geeks at a BPX level and without any regard to US dollars, then that's going to have an interesting impact on the price of geeks.
Well, James, what are you going to do? How many geeks do you have? Like 27? I could go look on OpenSea.
No, I honestly, I don't have, I mean, you can look, because I'm not positive, but I don't have as many as a decent amount of people. I think I want to say 3 legends, 5 or 6, 7 maybe heroes, and an all-star.
Okay, and you're...
that's awesome. That's what I have. 370.
Yeah.
Wait, you have the same exact number, Rob, as he does?
Yeah, I have 3 heroes, 7 all-star, and 7 hero and 0 all-stars.
Wow, look at that. All right. Well, I didn't realize we had two whales on the stage right now. Thanks for outing yourself, Rob.
Well, I did all mine by trades too, so it can be done. I bought one out of all those.
Yeah, I know. That's incredible. Telling the new people if you can trade up to a legend, that's great. All right. Well, then a question for the three of you. Rob's talking about the marketplace, but how many of you guys are what are you going to do in terms of moving to the BlockPack marketplace? I feel I'm not planning on selling, and I think I'm going to keep mine on the blockchain. I don't think I want to I'm not to go. I know Critison is very big on our blockchain roots, and I don't think I go as far as Critison, but I love his input. I love where he's coming from, but I think I'm going to keep it on the blockchain. I don't think I'm going to move my geeks over.
I'll probably move everything over. Anything that they allow to be moved over, I'll probably move over.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, just look for two different. There's two different approaches. Why are you not, and why are you?
Well, I would. Just honestly, I hate dealing with OpenSea. I hate dealing with MetaMask. If I could get everything off of that, yesterday, I would love to. I mean, I definitely understand why a lot of people would want to keep it in that, and I mean, that'll obviously always be an option, and everyone should keep it where they want it. But yeah, for me, it would be nice to not have to deal with
well,
any
it'll
of that.
be interesting to see. You have Alpha Block, who is sitting, you can see on the screen right now. If you end up going into the BlockPax Discord, you go to official links, and then you go to the BlockPax section, and you go to OpenSea Collection Card Geeks. You open there, and then you go to the Analytics tab up there in the corner, and it'll show you different things like the owners, top 100. So right there you have BlockPax, which is number 1 with 212, and then Alpha 45. Gen Con second at 37. And I'm not sure who this is, Jamps, the 5F 2778. Is that Jamps' friend?
No,
I think that's the person that swept miners.
I don't think Jam's friend had. I don't think my friend has any.
Geeks. What were you saying, Rob?
I think that might be the wallet that swept the miners recently.
Okay. Well, and then
if so, I think that was Alpha's friend.
And then below that, that's BBV. The BBV group made of community members, and then Zarek coming in 6th. Oh, look at that. He's behind Jen by 15. He probably has to work on that. And then you've got Hermie Madoff, who is JPG Maxi. He's coming in. And Nifty Meta Girl, who's from the Meta Jungle. And then AA Ron, CP Hurley. And we're about to get down there. And then according to Hen, the influenza boy himself, tied with Galileo. And then Jamps coming in behind Galileo. Look at that. And then let's find Major Rob, because he should be in here, right? The Thamster. Whoa, Thamster's up there at 13. Legend and Major Rob sitting there right at 10. So right there with Big Dobbs. Wow, that's great. All right. And so, Rob, are you going to move everything over to the marketplace too? Big Rob first and then Major Rob second.
I'm not going to waste my gas money on moving it to the marketplace unless they require us to for some points or utility. Otherwise, I don't see the point in it if I'm not going to sell it.
And you're not planning on selling any of your geeks?
I only have one, so I kind of need it.
Unless you were tiny hands and then you just sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it. Major Rob, are you going to bring them?
I never thought about it, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Well, so I want to ask James about the geeks. All right, and then Lost Miners. So James, your friend, James' friend who owns all those Lost Miners, you're still over 200?
No, I had to make some deals that included miners, so I think don't quote me on the exact, but in the 160s,
okay.
I think.
Is there a number you don't want to go below?
No, not really. I mean, I don't want to get rid of any of them, honestly. But when there's things that I really, really want in the ecosystem, and something has to give. Yeah.
But that says something.
I try to rotate what that something.
But that says something, right? You're saying there's something in the ecosystem you really want, and when people are looking to deal with you, they're willing to accept Lost Miners as the currency that you trade in. I mean, that's saying something because it's going for whatever hot commodity you care about, right?
Yeah, I mean, miner floors have been, pretty liquid for the most part. So yeah, people usually have. Well, I mean, it depends who they are, obviously, but a lot of people have no problem accepting
Yeah,
that. But again, I'm not really trying to spend my lost
and you
miners.
went for one Santa for another, but have you let go of any of your kind of grailish ones, or there are these on the floor?
No. I haven't let go of a single one that wasn't a floor.
Okay.
Besides that swapping of the
And
one-on-ones.
James' friend, has he let go of any miners? And
No.
is he going to come to any events, National, The Shattering, anything like that?
I doubt it. I did talk to him about the Shattering very, very briefly, but yeah, he's not coming. I still don't think he really understands that he has a lot of boxes coming. I mean, he ordered on Kickstarter too, and he really wasn't reading like, how much what kind of contents were included. So he's going to be in for a surprise because I think he has 100 serialized boxes, and I honestly don't really recall what he bought on Kickstarter.
Rob,
But I imagine he bought the biggest package, but I don't know if he then used a second email.
James,
or
can you
not.
say how many he bought again? Because I want to get Rob's expression on. Rob's, don't yawn when I put you in the main screen. I know it's late and you've got a newborn. That's not an excuse, but I want to get Rob's expression. James, when you just said how many boxes, you should have seen Rob's face, big Rob's face.
Yeah, he bought I think it's 100. I don't know. Like, I don't have my computer with me, and the way this stream is set up, I can't use another tab or it crashes this, unfortunately. So I can't do any research, but I think he has 100 serialized.
for
The UPS guy's going to be really upset when he has to deliver all those.
So, James, you are for folks who are going to the Shattering, you will be there.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
For people who haven't made it, of course, the Shattering is where you're going to be able to rip your wonders. It's going to be in Columbia, South Carolina, home to BlockPax, and they have a block of rooms set up at the Marriott there. The block is reserved through, I think it's the end of February, but if you want to catch the latest around the block, we'll talk about it. Rob, you're killing me, dude. You're killing me. All right, Big Rob, not Major Rob. Big Rob, are you going to the Shattering?
No, I'm not.
How far of a drive is it for you?
I wouldn't. I didn't even look, but too far.
Yeah, too far. Well, especially with a newborn, you wouldn't do that to your wife. Major Rob, will you be making the drive?
I don't really do much in Wonders, to be honest.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't do much in the Wonders arena.
Yeah, I think I heard you. Are you sure you don't want to do that, Rob?
Why?
I feel like it's going to be the next. It's just everybody who said, why didn't you tell me that I should have bought $1 million worth of Bow Battle Arena? Is that you don't see that as the same situation, huh, Rob? And it's Frenchie will tell you just collect what you love. So I'm just giving you a hard time partly.
I don't understand anything about it. And I got here after the serialized boxes, so I had no chance at those. If I did, I probably would be more inclined to be in on it.
Yep.
But when you buy them for $40 to $60, $70, and now we come in later and have to pay $400 for them, it's only so much you can do.
Well, at the time we were paying, like, remember the BPx we paid at the time, James, it was right $5,900 around there. It was like $225 in those dollars, right?
Yeah, that's what my recollection.
Yeah, we
was.
were. You can say now, Rob, that it's only worth $40, but you got to remember at the time when we were spending it, we were spending $225. So it was. Yeah, the price that since you've been around, Rob, you could have gotten it for the same price we have in the $200 range.
Yeah, I know. I definitely spent multiple 5 figures on them, so it wasn't. Yeah,
cheap. I remember people saying. I mean, I looked at my BPx that way, is that I had enough rewards, and when people said, "Gee, you should have bought more," I was like, "Well, I bought a lot of boxes," and I'm just like, I didn't. Remember when Frenchie gave us that opportunity, Big Rob, and said, "You guys can go. You know what? Everybody hit their allotment. There's some left over. You can go buy extras." And I was like, "Gee, thanks. I can go buy thousands more in a product that's not getting delivered for a year, and no guarantee it's going to succeed." Which is, we all believe in Frenchie, but that's a big risk, right, Big Rob?
Yeah, it was a big risk. I definitely didn't buy as many as I could have, and I definitely got rid of pretty much all of my Wonder stuff. I still have 2 slabs, but that's it.
Do you have art proofs?
No, I traded those.
Wow. So you're down to pre-slabs. All right.
Yeah,
And
I made a decision like before Bow Battle Arena came out that was
yeah,
basically like there's too many different silos for me, and this is the one that I care about the least.
yeah.
So
No.
I've got like 2 boxes coming from the Kickstarter.
And did you have any existence art proofs?
I'm not sure what you mean. I don't even remember what they all
Did you have any?
all color.
Do you have any character proofs from the first set that's coming out now?
I did, but I traded them.
Okay. Yeah.
So I
I
traded
have
my
two that
character
are.
proofs and my serialized boxes.
Yep.
Sold a couple of the boxes, traded a couple of them, and then same thing with the character proofs. And then the slabs, I got lucky, and Mr. Dillon bought one of my offers. It was like 7,000 BPx for a box art.
Wait. He didn't buy one of your offers. He accepted one of your offers.
Yeah, he accepted one of my offers.
Yeah. Just make it understand. He doesn't buy anything from us in the
Yeah,
marketplace.
he,
Yeah.
he accepted my offer, which was
But
pure luck because there was offers that were higher than mine.
well, Bigler had offered what 50,000. You had it for 7,000.
Yeah, he messed up there.
Yeah.
But, and then I flipped it for like 190k BPx or something.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
keeps going. All right. Well, James, what about you? We just heard from these two guys, and they're like, no, stepping away from Wonders. Are you equally into Boba, Wonders? Let's just leave it there.
I mean, so like there's no way I'm gonna be more related. Like I find BoJax and Battle Arena so relatable to me. Like I'm not going to find Wonders nearly as relatable. That being said, I have substantially more more Wonders coming than I have Boba, and I'm excited for it. But like it's definitely different to me. I mean, it's not a game that like for Boba, like me and my kids, we do play it sometimes, and we have fun. If they were a little bit older, we would play it a lot more frequently. But like Wonders, that's not something that I'm going to be playing type thing. But I'm super bullish on the product just because I don't find it as relatable for myself. Doesn't mean that I don't see the market, and I see like all these people coming in and how excited they are for it. What they beat up those slabs because that's the only thing that's the only thing they have that they can buy right now. And they're chomping at the bits over there for this game to come out. And I think it's going to be a tremendously successful game. So I'm excited about the cards I have, and keeping up. This is going to be the first thing, famous last words again. We'll check back on this in a year from now, but this is the first product that I am going to try to have a substantial amount of sealed product, that I really hold on to. That being said, I mean, I'm going to be ripping a ton, if there's someone ripping more than me at the shattering, that'll be cool to see. But I have, I told the team, and I might adjust it one more time, but I decided I'm going to drive instead of flying, just because it just makes me too nervous flying back. If I decided to rip a bunch of cards, which that's what I want to go down there and do, like I would just have so much anxiety flying back with all that.
Yeah.
Like, so I decided it's a 10-hour drive. I'll knock that out. But I have them bringing 20 boxes from my Kickstarter. And then 60 of the serialized boxes.
60 this year.
It's
60
of the
So you plan
serialized
to hold most of your box, or at least a substantial amount of your product sealed. Do you plan to sell any of it at any point?
Yeah.
Like, what's your timeline looking like for that in your head?
It depends what happened with the serialized boxes. If after the shattering, the thirst is so much for them that these things shoot up to 4 digits, I'd be hard pressed to not let go of some. I wouldn't be looking to liquidate them. But I would want to get something back out of that. But it's going to be especially tempting for me because if the prices of the singles, are outpacing the value of the boxes, what I can sell the boxes for, it's just going to be increasingly difficult for me not to open them. If the price of the sealed boxes isn't as good. That's different, but we'll see. It's it'll be a test of my. I'm gonna have some in storage in different places, I think. So I can't. I'm not gonna keep it all in my house this
So
time.
just be warned, if you're going to be at the shattering and you have a secure humidity controlled space, Jamps might be asking you to take some boxes home with you for the shattering. Jamps, are you making the drive with the wife and kids?
No, it's solo.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say your boys, and your daughter's still too young to help, but I think your boys, right? They helped you with the bow ripping, right?
Oh
How?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. They don't know. They don't really know about this event, and they're not gonna be happy when
Yeah,
they find out.
I
But
was just gonna say. Oh, we'll make sure to.
it's too much, man. It would be. It wasn't gonna work out. I would have to fly with them. There's no chance I'm driving 10 hours
Okay.
with my 3 kids. Like that's not. It's not. No shot. And like the flights were expensive. I mean, I would have flown myself. I didn't not fly because of the ticket price, but I was surprised to fly from Philly to Philly or Newark down to Columbia. It was like $450, which is surprising. I
Yes,
don't know.
it is.
So for a family of 5, I'm like, really? Am I going to drive $2,500 to fly down to
When
Columbia,
you can
South
drive it in a
Carolina?
day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
By the way, I do want to say that Joe, I'm just thinking about you driving and about you, and Joe in Discord said, darn, when he heard this was canceled, he said, I was looking forward to hearing from Jamps on how pools affect the liquidity of a home. So he is looking forward to that when, according to him, back on. All right. So with the shattering is that you're going to be there, you're going to be ripping, you're planning on holding a lot that's sealed. All right. And let's see. So we covered wonders, we covered miners. And the bow, what are you doing with bow? How much stuff do you have sealed still left of bow?
No, I don't have any sealed above.
You didn't want
I'd be shocked.
to.
Yeah, that's not that. I haven't had. The only stuff I've kept sealed of that was like me waiting to give it to my kids on different nights of Hanukkah. I mean, that was the most anything it stayed sealed in my house
All right.
above.
I didn't know that you were incapable of keeping one. I figured you'd keep one sealed.
Nah, nah, no, I'm not capable of that,
Okay.
I'll
sir.
tell you what I'd love to know is how much Alpha has sealed. I would give anything to know that.
Oh my
Did you
God.
ask him point blank?
No, I don't have the guts to do that.
Just ask him. I mean, Alpha is the guy who he loves frank questions, and he's pretty frank about whether he's going to answer you or not, and he's not offended. So ask him point blank.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't be offended by the question. Whether he answers it or not is
Yeah.
entirely different.
But that's a great.
I have a feeling it's a good amount.
Yeah, I do too. Because he came right out and said, "There's nobody who has more than me."
Oh yeah, there's no shot.
All right. Well, hey, I don't want to. I'm going to ask. I want to ask you a question. Leave it on that. But I'm going to give first. I'm not sure if Big Rob's still around, but Major Rob is that Major Rob. Or here, we'll come to you in a second, Big Rob. But Major Rob, any final? I appreciate you coming up on stage. I love reading what you and Jordan, Critison, BP Fergu. There's a group of you who just keep talking about the Mr. Dillon, which is an important issue, and I like that you guys keep it raised. What's great about it too, it's always a respectful dialogue. Everybody's talking about, looking for solutions. So thanks for coming up here today, Major Rob. Sorry that we couldn't accommodate you. Glad we touched on it a little bit, but I'm looking forward to doing this with According to Hen. But any final words, Rob, you want to share?
Just a question: what night are you shooting for to redo it, so I can make sure I'm available?
According to Hen has influenza, so as soon as he's healthy, I'll ask when him and James are available.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry about that. All right. Thanks, Rob. And then Big Rob, anything final you want to add? Did you get a little nap while you were off camera?
I was just looking to see how far away Columbia was. It's too far.
How far? 17?
I didn't even get to how many hours it was. I just looked it up on the map and I was like, oh yeah, it's way too far. Anyway, I just want to say with the wonder stuff, like I definitely have some remorse with getting rid of my boxes and my character proofs, but I do have a really nice Jackie Robinson card thanks to those, so I can't be too upset about it.
Ooh.
But I am looking forward to seeing how that product plays out. I hope it does really well. And the other thing is, if anybody is doing pick six, I believe the pick six lineup lock tomorrow. I think it's the first games. If you're going to do basketball, I don't even know if there's a football game, but so you get those in. I updated the Radish Fantasy Sports site to work with the 2025 Pick Six season before it stopped working at the new year, and I didn't update it until today.
Thanks, Rob, for
So
doing
yeah,
that.
you can use the cheat sheet again.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, as always, thank you. All right, and then James, I want to just close it out with you and ask a couple of questions. Of course, the one thing we were remiss in doing, and that's my fault for setting you up, is I know a number of new folks. I think Quiznora, I think that's the name how you pronounce it, they had to work right now, but they were saying, I'm looking forward to watching it later. And we should have prefaced it, which is there's a lot of new people, and that's kind of where I want to end it with you, James, is that we haven't seen, to our knowledge, block packs going out and really targeting the Wonders people, the Boba people, and bringing them over. But man, are they coming over to the block packs Discord like never before. And man, are they just, they're not even, it's amazing. It's, Frenchie always said, don't shove the blockchain in their face. They'll find it on their own. And when you do things like buying geeks, right now, that's an asset on the blockchain. And Knoxville Chris is, he found that, thanks to Major Rob, who's here on stage, he found that in record time. I was shocked by that. I mean, he's got that personality, but even the old days, Jams, like people didn't freaking pick up geeks as quick as Knoxville Chris did. And just generally, I want to give you the final word, but just your thoughts about all the people who are coming in. Do you think it's just a temporary spike? We've seen them before, or do you think this is actually the beginning of the change we've been waiting for, where we're going to see an influx of people and it's really going to start to scale?
Yeah, I think it's the tip of the iceberg, personally. Yeah, I mean, I just once Wonders releases and Alpha Update comes out, I think this is definitely at a tipping point, so to speak.
Okay. Well, it's thank you, James, for coming back. And of course, James is driving around in his car. His home life wasn't conducive to hosting tonight. So poor James has been out in the car, and like maybe it's a good thing he had the show tonight because we just gave him an hour reprieve.
I'm not driving around. I'm sitting in my driveway.
James, just out of curiosity, how old are the boys or the kids?
The boys are 7, and my younger son will be 6 next month, and then my little girl's 3.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I had 4, right? Same basic concept of age between them, but you have my prayers, man.
I accept them. Thank you.
Well, he's lucky. He has an angel for a wife. His wife is the sweetest, nicest woman. So he's lucky to have her.
Tomorrow, her birthday is in hour and 51 minutes.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to turn it over to you to say goodbye. But this is Discord user Slappy White with Radish Digital. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. Appreciate everybody who stuck around, Jamps. Is that for us canceling this thing, we're just going to have a get together. It's I think that goes to a lot of people also wanting to hear from you. We're still in the 20s for people who are watching right here. So thank you, Jamps, for stepping up to do this, and thanks for hanging out. I do miss hanging out with you on Thursday nights. I don't miss every Thursday night hanging out with you, but I do miss hanging out with you.
I know. I definitely hear that, and the same sentiments from me. And I want to leave a little tidbit of knowledge here. I'll steal a little thing from Jen. Slappy, did you know what the one meat that is recession proof is? It's venison. It's still a buck.
I was thinking, yeah, venison is. I guess that is recession. You can go out and shoot it. I didn't even catch the whole buck thing.
I said it to my kids before, and before I even stopped, I couldn't even stop what I was saying, and Landon's like, squirrel. I'm like, squirrel, where are you getting that from?
Oh my, it's only a buck.
All right, these aren't the old scripted days. I think we have Jamps' script, but Jamps, you say goodbye, and you tell me to end when you say goodbye, I'll end the stream.
All right, thanks again, Slappy, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch us next time when